My name is Manuel Cruz, born 1953 in Guadalajara, Mexico.
Born in Mexico, but that is not where I live today. I left Mexico, no school, no money, no job, no nothing. I figured I know I make it, or not, but it was only one way to find out.
A dream is something you don't see. This is very important. A dream is something you don't see. That goes with faith. Faith is something that you know exists, but you don't see it. People told me, you're so lucky. You can call it luck if you want it, but you know what? I personally call it no luck. My parents were very poor. 6 kids, mom and dad. And my house only had two rooms. So I changed my mind from go to school, go to work. I missed the best times of my life because I didn't have a chance. I started working really young. This thing is one of the original tools that I got of hold myself when I was broke totally. This little tool created a lot of confidence in me. I will go on the street and I ask people if they want to shine their shoes. Best day that I had made in this, 30. And that was, for me, was the most magnificent time. And that's when I find out that when you do things for yourself, something is going to come out better. La escuela me venía aquí, los fines de semana aquí. Yo creo que por eso que no quise estudiar. I love money. Qué pendejo. The first person that told me to come to America was a professor that I had when I was in 3rd grade. It makes sense because, first of all, it came from an old man, and he was a professor. He wasn't very intellectual. When I saw and listened to him, I believed him. I said, what about if this guy is right? Le digo, oye, ¿y usted ha ido a Estados Unidos? Sí, me gusta mucho. La cultura de Estados Unidos es the best. Because ellos siempre piensan adelante de todo. Tú tienes que ir a Estados Unidos a estudiar. Tú tienes que encontrar la cultura. It became a dream because when you hear something for one time and when you're a kid, it's something that you always think. You always think when you sleep, think when you wake up. You don't see because you know you're tourist in here and you see everything very coloring and everything is nice, the food is delicious and all that. No, you have to live here. When I find out at my early age what was going on and what's going to be, I say, adios. You can have everything here. And that's the reason I left. For me to go to the States, it was not easy. I had nobody out there so they can help me out. So for me, it was, I would call difficult. But difficult, but not impossible. I remember like it was yesterday, you know? You get to a point you're sick and tired of doing the same shit because you figure, when this is gonna happen? When is gonna be the day? So that when the day came, when I jump in the bus, and I start getting in the way here, that's when I knew things were reality. I lived there for like 9 months in there, in Juarez.
One day,
I sneak in. You know how many times they took me out in Texas? 5. One time I swim in the river, 7. Agarré 2 bags como aquí y puse mis pantalones en un plastic bag, mi camisa, mis shorts, los dejé, mis calzones los dejé. Y me metí al pinche river. Sales como un gato, empiezas a caminar. Pero nomás caminaba poquito y agarraba. One time, it's funny, this is the funniest part of it. One time, the same guy got me. I saw him coming, so I started running and I hide. When he came in with a flashlight, says, oh my God, you again? ¿Por qué otra vez, señor, aquí? ¿Por qué? Le dije, yo tengo mucha hambre. No tengo dinero, no tengo casa, tengo mucha hambre. Dice, ok, ven, vamos a comer algo. Took me to McDonald's, bought me a combo, fries, hamburger, a Coke. It was the most delicious thing. Well, I made a promise for myself. If I cross the border and it happened me to be working in the United States, I'm gonna have myself, my first meal gonna be McDonald's. I see the people, different buildings, different streets. I see a lot of cars. I see a lot of opportunity. So another dream started building in my mind. I got a job to do here. For me, it was a dream to see the cars real. The Mercedes for me was a unique car at that time. It was one of the nice. All the cars that exist in the earth, those cars were the nicest cars. And I ride it. My friend's father had one, and I ride in one. I go, oh my God, this car is different. I saw cars. I say, people is cars. Gotta be money. Walk into the place, and I asked the man if he has a word for me. John Stigler. He was the one who hired me at the dealership. He was another immigrated guy that came to America, and he started from nothing. I wrote in my arm, no, listen to this. I wrote in my arm the words that I needed to say. I wrote it of the dictionary. I put, I need work. I need anything. No salary. I need to work. See, and the guy that owned the place, he thought it was funny the way I explained to him. And we did all these moves, signs with the hands, and he went for it. And because he hired me, he always protect me because I did all kinds of good things for him in his place. He needed to paint the wall, I paint the wall. He needed to paint the floor, I paint the floor. He needed to clean up anything, and any time. I used to work on Sundays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Whenever he need me, I'll go there and do it. And they call him a golfer because I go and pick up a par. I go and put brakes in the cars. I go and wash cars. So I do whatever they tell me to do. I say yes, I'll do it. He was a very good man for me. Yeah. If you don't speak English, how can people know what you need? Well, one time I don't know how people learn English. To me, I thought this language was one of the hardest languages in the world. For me, it was impossible. At one time, I don't know how people learn English. 2 cars I need to bring it. A 280, both are 280s. That was not a problem. The problem was the color, because the guy say green and gray. And to me, it sound the same. Say, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? I bring the gray car, and he wanted the green one first, and I didn't understand him. He says, no, and it turned red, turned like tomato. And I got very nervous, I started sweating. He says, green, you understand what green is? I say yes, and I didn't understand. So a guy that worked there, it was an Argentinian guy, older guy that worked there, he says, Tommy, talk to this idiot what green is. And he comes to me and says, verde, pendejo. I go, okay. So I ran right away and got the green one. And when I brought the car in, he says something to Thomas, if I don't speak English in 3 months, enough to communicate, out. That was very devastating in my mind because you know what? I needed to learn it quick. I never thought in 3 months would understand colors, understand like door, table, just the basic stuff. And that helped me a lot. That was the beginning for me. You know what? I did it. So nothing is impossible. incredible what the English language is, because I can start communicating with people. I can start really, everything changed totally for me. One of the guys like to drink. I say, well, why don't you finish your beer while I put the brakes job together? And once I'm done, you just look at it. If it's okay, I put the wheels up. And we're just drinking his beer while I do the work. So I did the work for him. He looked at the work, and it's fine. For me, it was practice. He make the money, I don't care. I did the free practice for me. And a little bit of a time, I took his place. I worked for them 10 years, and those 10 years, I collect enough information that I say, well, it's time to go on your own. 83 was the year that I started Silver Motors. My wife, Mercedes Cruz. I like her, and her name goes with my life. As a matter of fact, she didn't believe me that I was in a Mercedes. She thought I was making it up, and then it took him maybe a day or two when the chief figured it out 100%. We decided to get married. She helped me build my business together. And then later, I became a citizen of the country. I don't like to remember the bad times, because they are bad times. It's like anything else. In today's time, I wouldn't have done it. No way. Today's time is tough. There was more regulations. It's harder. It's much harder. The government is very picky right now. I don't think I would have made it this time. It was my time. It was a perfect time. It's miracle. Miracles happens. I never believe in miracles, but when you live one of them, you become a believer.
My last name is Cruz.